Hello, Education Psychology Class 275. This is Julia, Hannah, Sean, and Austin, and we will be sharing some information about behavioral disorders with you today. This will be very helpful, especially if you encounter a student with a behavioral disorder in your future classroom. According to Woolfolk, a behavioral disorder is defined as a behavior that deviates so much from the norm that they interfere with the child's own growth and development and/or the lives of others. There are many behavioral disorders, but our group is going to focus on one in particular called the reactive attachment disorder. Reactive attachment disorder is when an infant or a young child doesn't establish a healthy attachment to a primary caregiver. This can become a serious condition if the child's basic needs for nurturing and comfort aren't met, and if loving and stable attachments aren't established. Infants need a secure, caring, and stable environment. This includes their basic emotional and physical needs being met consistently with love and affection. For example, when a baby cries, a caregiver needs to either give them a diaper change or feed them with a shared emotional exchange like a smile, eye contact, or even a caress. Sadly, reactive attachment disorder is caused when children are not met with these needs and they are ignored for much of the time. They have had a hard time making a connection with their primary caregiver, and this can cause them to not expect care or comfort in any sort of way with another person. For example, a teacher.
There are some early signs for children with reactive attachment disorder, or RAD. Children who are either internationally adopted or adopted at a later age in life can be early causes for RAD. Another sign is children who come from a single-parent household where the primary caregiver is not present a majority of the time is also a sign of RAD. When a child experiences RAD, they often experience symptoms to go along with it. Some of them include learning disabilities and the difficulty to stay focused in schools. Another common symptom is social disability, where it is tough for children to interact with their peers. This often leads to victimization and bullying behavior. Children brought up in institutions, in particular, often lack primary caregiving, cognitive stimulation, and some of them may have experienced psychological and physical neglect. These children can already show signs and symptoms before they even have a caregiver looking out for them, which is very common for adopted international students.
All right. Well, that is the end of our video, and now you probably know a little bit more about RAD, reactive attachment disorder. But you're probably wondering, as future teachers, what to do if you encounter a student with RAD. Well, our next video is going to teach you some tips and what to do if you encounter a student with RAD in your classroom.